Dan Illman, Mike Beer, race number 10 at Belmont Park on Saturday is the prestigious Grade 1 Champagne, a one-turn mile for 2-year-olds prepping for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. Remember that Breeders' Cup Clocker reports are going to be coming out in about a couple of weeks, but the Belmont Park Clocker reports, well, they're there the entire Belmont Fall Championship meeting. DRF.com/Clocker is where you need to go to find expert morning workout analysis from Mike Welsh and his team of clockers. Again, DRF.com/Clocker. Here's the field for the Grade 1 Champagne. 2-year-olds looking to take that next step to the Breeders' Cup. Morning line favorite, Green Light Go. He deserves to be the morning line favorite. Perfect 2 for 2 in his career. Paired up 84 Beyer tops. Rock solid. Tis the Law for Barkley Tag, impressive debut winner. 3 Technique, impressive debut winner. These are some very promising horses, Mike, and as we see from the Timeform US pace projector, his pace could heat up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you think it would get at least a little bit fast. A bunch of horses stretching out in here. A lot of these horses already have talent. I don't know, Dan. To me, the Champagne never disappoints.
The Alpha 66, the number 1, would really benefit if this red bar fast-paced scenario is right, because he came from out of it in his debut and showed a lot of guts for Todd Pletcher. Let's watch that race right now. Back on September the 7th, we see him on the attack on the outside. He's the number 7, and this horse is slipping through along the inside, and it looks like that the horse on the inside, Hemlock, has got his number. Alpha 66 right now is second best, but he's going to keep finding and finding and finding, and he's going to wear this horse down to get it done.
Yeah, I liked this debut from this horse, Dan. He was wide every step of the way, but always traveled in this race. Hemlock, the horse that he ran down, already had a start, so he had a little experience on him, and he got through on the rail. This horse was just very determined to close him down at the end. He has found himself in a tough spot here. Drawing the rail probably didn't do him any favors, but I won't be surprised when this horse takes a step forward here.
Number 2 is Truculent, still a maiden taking on winners. They're going to try to put the blinkers on. He has a little bit of early speed, but beaten at Indiana Grand on dirt, beaten at Ellis Park on turf, still hasn't Beyered 60. This is a gigantic task.
I mean, they're just asking a lot of this horse. Obviously, the connections are very sharp, and obviously they like this horse, but they're just taking a big shot in here.
Green Light Go's been a man against boys in his first 2 races. He's just this big, powerfully built son of hard spun, and he does everything right. His debut at Belmont, he went right to the front, he took pressure, he kept on going. Pulled out a new trick out of his hat in the Saratoga Special. Let's watch that race right now. He sat off the pace. He's attacking on the outside in the white nose band. Look at this bump he takes right here. Bang! Doesn't faze him at all. He changed to his right lead. He's off to the races. He wins nicely. I'm not sure if this was the strongest Saratoga Special in the world, but Green Light Go is tactical. I have no problem with him stretching out to the mile, and he's just the horse to beat.
Yeah, he is the horse to beat. He's run well in both of his first 2 starts. I like in that race, not only did he ran through the bump in the stretch, but he showed that he could rate and run in there, something that I think you wanted to see from him. He's very professional, a very mature 2-year-old. He's supposed to be able to get at least a 1-turn mile. Listen, they skipped the hopeful after that track came up sloppy on closing day at Saratoga. They awaited this spot. I don't think it has to do him any harm. He is the horse to beat.
3 Technique, the number 4, has an experience edge over many of the horses in this race, and I like how Jeremiah has just given him a gradual increase in distance from 5 to 6 to 7 to the mile. 2 starts back, this horse was favored over Basin, who was an impressive debut winner that day. Of course, came back to win the Grade 1 Hopeful, considered one of the better 2-year-olds in the country. 3 Technique came back in his maiden race. This is a very impressive late kick, folks. He was kind of in and among horses early as we turn into the stretch for 3 Technique. He has got a lot of work to do. Far outside, yellow silks, but he just kicks these horses down with something to spare.
Yeah, this is a very nice stretch run this horse puts in. A huge finish from where he was off the quarter pole to where he is when they cross the wire. This is a thoroughly dominant maiden win for this horse, who had run well in each of his first 2 starts. He didn't win either time as the favorite, but he ran well in both of those races. And then it feels like he even took another step forward in that race.
Got to think the number 5, Gozilla, is going to be one of the speeds in this race. Gate to wire winner at Saratoga. Very impressive. Winning the faster division of 6 furlong maiden specials at the Spa on August the 10th, confidently ridden throughout. He was the favorite in the hopeful off of that race, and he showed speed, and he tired. But you know something? That track was wet.
Yeah.
He didn't have to like the wet track. He is a horse that at a price, and he's going to be the best price he's ever been in his life in this race,
yeah,
he can turn the tables.
Yeah, all those things are true. I don't think you want to give up on him just yet. It's interesting that, he was no secret in his debut. Everybody knew that he could run. And as you mentioned, it was a slightly faster division of the 2 races, But the other division was a loaded race, and he got into, I thought, the weaker side. He was still very impressive winning that race. I can give him all the excuses you gave him for the hopeful. There's a chance that he rebounds in this race, but he's going to have to rebound because this is a good field.
One of the things that a long shot, the number 6, Big City Bob, has over his competition is he's got to win at a mile. It was a 2-turn race at Monmouth, but it was a stakes race, the Sapling. We're going to watch that race right now for Big City Bob. Blue cap, far outside, still has a little bit of work to do. You see he's green, he's on his left lead, but he's going to run this horse down, and he likes to win. He's won his last 2 by short margins. He's moving forward from a Beyer speed figure standpoint. Going to have to move forward again, likely.
Yeah, he is, but he's already been the distance. That was a pretty tough stretch out from 5.5 to 8 last time. And even though he was on his wrong lead and he didn't win by a lot, you could always tell he was going to close that race down. I thought, all in all, a pretty nice performance from this horse.
The number 7 is Tis the Law. And boy, is this first crop sire Constitution been throwing nothing but good horses. Tis the Law got bet for a Barclay Tag first-time starter, down to 7-2 in a New York bred maiden special weight at August the 8th. It doesn't get easier than this. This looks like a morning workout. He sat in behind horses. He's on the outside. He's going to poke his head in front, and just watch Junior Alvarado just sit on him. He doesn't really ask him for any kind of run. He's basically just waiting for the finish line right here. Tis the Law got a 90 Beyer speed figure. Now, after this race, he missed a little bit of time. He had a couple of little issues. But the fact that Tag's putting him right back in this race, great sign. Nice outside post.
Yeah, he drew perfectly on the outside, and the way he ran first time out, how handy he was, because he actually had speed early in that race, but they didn't even try to make the lead. They put him in behind. You saw what happened once they took him clear. He was a little bit green when Junior shook him up just a little bit, but once he straightened out, he won for fun. Never really asked for his best and still got a 90. He's a dangerous horse in here, Dan.
Let's see who we pick in the Grade 1 Champagne. I liked what we saw from 3 Technique coming from off of the pace. I'm not sure if he has to run that way, but if the pace is fast as expected, I'm expecting him to close. Engelart just had a sensational summer with his 2-year-olds. Really a breakout summer for an excellent young trainer. Yep. I like 3 Technique in here. I went 4-7-3. I'm using a lot of the 7 Tis the Law.
Yeah, I went with Tis the Law. We'll see what happens. Obviously, he has to step forward probably and back up that debut, but he was super impressive there. I'm not way against green light go, but I'll take a shot against him. I went 7-3-4-1.
It's the Grade 1 Champagne, race number 10, 1-turn mile for 2-year-olds getting set for the Breeders' Cup. Approximate post time 5:22 Eastern. Good luck.